Welcome back to our topics in management. Today, we're going to be reviewing some of what we talked about last class, and we're going to be talking about various investments, life strategies for happiness and success. So to start with, I'd like to just point out a few points of business.
And I'd like to have a job in which one I would be successful, and also in which one I will be happy. I think that's one of the main goals. And the main goal I for the future, I think, is to be my own boss and to own my own company. And I think this will be my kind of being successful.
Okay, so what I heard from you is graduate, get a job, and be your own boss. Okay, I see Zarnigor, would you like to share some of your ideas? And I would like everyone here to be taking notes because I will put you into groups and I want you to discuss these with each other. So I don't want to bias these ideas, but I want you in a group to talk about what are some goals that a person has and how are you going to get them? What are your specific details? So Zanagor, what would you like to share?
I got two different thoughts about success. One is success for a day, and then the other one is success for a life. So success for a day for me is that having done things I planned for a day done on the time that I planned and more efficient way if possible. And success for life is achieving my goals that I planned for 8 years ahead of me and achieving all of them till 8 year finished, and then I'll plan for the rest.
So I heard, again, I repeated the first person. I'm trying to remember and repeat what you were saying. You start with planning your daily goals, and then you plan about something related to future success, but I didn't hear exactly what your dream goal was. Okay. Jessica, I saw your hand up next. Would you like to share your ideas and thoughts?
Yeah, so for me, I think when people think about success, they mostly think about like becoming a CEO of a company or getting rich. But I feel like those people often don't have like time to relax or to be with their family or something. So for me, success is more like having a job that really sparks me joy and having like good friends and good people around me. So yeah, that would be my definition of success.
Okay. Please make sure everybody is trying to remember details of what each person is saying, because when you go into the groups, I want you guys to start talking about those. One thing that I'm hearing so far is generalizations. I haven't heard somebody, just like we talked about in the Excel file, you say that you want to focus on Bitcoin. Well, do you want to focus on Bitcoin mining? Do you want to focus on Bitcoin theory? Do you want to focus on investing in Bitcoin? Do you want to focus on being an agent, helping other people buy and sell Bitcoin? All of those are related to Bitcoin, but completely different. So the more specifics we get, and the more we identify the steps to actually get those specifics, specific goals, the faster they usually turn into reality. So, Kakao, can you be the last one to identify some of your ideas? And then we're going to go into a group and I'll ask everybody to, again, try to identify what are some possible goals that any of you could have and methods to achieve them. So go ahead, Kulkano.
I just want to answer to the question of success. So for me, success is a balance between the family and my own job. So my goal is owning my own business that can be balanced, my family and my desired job.
Okay. Before I put you into groups, just to take the specific words that Gulkayano said, she said family and balance family with a job. But she didn't say if she wants to be a teacher or an investment banker or a lawyer or a heart surgeon, thoracic surgeon, or a garbage man or a construction worker or an entrepreneur. I think it was Arthur was talking initially. He was saying that he wanted to graduate and then get a job. And then he said later that he wanted to have his own job, but I don't remember what, maybe Arthur's job is the exact same job that Gulkayano wants. So the more details you have, the more specifics you have, the easier it will be for you guys to be successful. So I'm just going to show a couple other details here before I put you into more groups. The idea of this. What I am saying here is that anybody can have big 20-year dream goals. Everybody should have them. When I was growing up in North America, almost everybody had many, many, many huge, outrageous dreams and goals. But in Asia, in East Asia, I find a lot of people in Korea, a lot of people in Vietnam, their idea is interpreted, in my opinion, as just something I'm going to get this week. Well, that's not really a life goal, in my opinion. It can be in yours, and I want you to argue with me. But if you're only planning it for this week or this month or this semester or year or just graduating university, trust me, there's some guys that get, we already got that goal and we forgot more things about that than we actually learned. So try to think bigger. And then whatever your idea is, sometimes I find in talking to students, it's best to identify what do you want in 20 years, and then list as many details as possible, and then divide it in half. In half of the 20 years, in 10 years, you need to be half that much, have half that, or at least be set up to achieve half of that. For example, if you want ownership of many buildings, at least you have to have the financial ability to start getting those in half of that time, and then divide it in half. In 5 years, you need half of that. In 2 years, you need half of that. In 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 2 weeks, 1 week, down to today. And so you should know today, in order to be successful, you should be working on those goals that will give you that success. And that's usually identified in the book that I show on the screen, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it's clarified in the first things first. So here we have, oops, we already showed, let me see if I can show this other. Actually, go ahead. I'm going to put you into groups. You should be identifying what is urgent, what is important, and based on those things, you decide to do one of the tasks that is very important, and it is usually not urgent, and you develop your strategies for life success, focusing on that first. Everything else comes afterwards, unless it is an emergency or an accident. You can't plan for accidents or getting hit by a bus. If you are hit by a bus, of course, you have to take care of that first. But you don't plan to get hit by a bus. So you should be using as much of your mind, as much as your time as possible, focused on taking care of what you are planning. So any questions before I put you into a group and ask you to identify what is your definition of success? What is your goal? What are your dream goals? And how do you plan to get those? And at the end of your group, I want the group to be able to share with the class as many details and specifics as possible. And let's vote just based off of what the group says, who has the highest chance of achieving those goals. And it's generally going to be decided by the specifics, the number of details you have in each step to get up there. And as you can see, there's a question here and a question here and several different questions down here. Who do you know can connect you at a higher level to get your goals? How can you meet those people? Another question is, who can introduce you to those people? Another thing is, what skills do you need to be successful? And then what activity can you join to practice that? All in addition to studying, working, networking, strategizing hard, planning to get those goals. So is this clear? There's 22 people in our group today. Before I divide you into breakout rooms, any questions? Fahim Malik, can you repeat what is the task you need to do when I put you into a group?
Yes, we have to plan for the future, what to do and what is the idea I have. So that's
okay. And once you're finished with the group activity, what should you have? What should you prepare to share with the class?
For my future goals. I mean,
okay, perhaps Adrian. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Adrian Kruger. If you are in the same group with the last student,
Yes.
what will you share with the class when you're finished?
I didn't understand the question, sir.
So we just heard from one student, Fahim Malik. He was saying he is going to talk about his goals and how he's going to achieve those goals. And so I'm asking you, that is something you should be talking about when you're in the group. But the actual task is slightly different. The actual task is, once you're finished talking in the group, maybe one person in the group needs to announce to the class what your group example of a goal is and what are the details or the steps that will help somebody achieve those. So group 1 is going to compete with group 2 and compete with group 3 and 4, and the class is going to vote which group will probably be able to achieve those goals faster or better or easier than the other groups. And in my opinion, it all comes down to the detailed steps you identify. And so if you have 4 or 5 students in a group, probably one person might have very different goals than you have, but you as a group need to identify what is a very big, very good goal to get, and most specifically, what are specific steps to achieve it. Does that make sense, Adrian?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Gregoire, do you have any questions before we break out into groups?
Nope.
Okay. So how much last time in last class, we just had about 5 to 7 minutes for a group chat. How much time would you guys like to start talking about these things before we come back to the PPT? Knowing that the PPT is here, you can watch it anytime. Hopefully you watched it before class, and there's a video of us teaching this. Hopefully you've watched the video about me teaching this before class, so we can just focus on the details. How much time would you like? Any yellouts?
Maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes? I think I heard 10 minutes.
15 maybe.
15 minutes. Okay, so in between, I'm going to say 12 and a half minutes. Great, here we go. We have about 20 students, so 5 students per group. Sound okay? Information.
I am a volunteer. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, nice. So it was pretty hard to make conversation, but we did it little by little. So we asked us several questions, like, for example, what skill can you make us able to get our goal achieved? So I was saying to my group that, how to say, that we need first to get like education skill. I mean, getting skill with education, so like school and this kind of stuff. And then after, maybe you have some personal skill on what you can work on, so it's like leadership, self-confidence, this kind of stuff. And then after, technical skill, like that you get at school, like during internship, this kind of stuff. And one of my comrades, like one of my classmates, told me that that we need to ask us 2 questions, maybe like in what are you good at and what are you proud of yourself. So I think what he mean by this, that's like you have to work more first on your personal skill, then after you will be able more specifically to work on your technical skill to achieve like your goal and this kind of stuff. So yeah, this is what basically the first information we can take with my group. We can say with my group.
Are you still there, Sean? We don't hear anything from you.
We don't hear anything from me. No, I'm done actually.
We can hear anybody that wants to speak. Every group is supposed to be trying to win by sharing their details.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So can my group go next? We are group 3. So are you still hearing us? I have a
Yes.
feeling that okay. So each student have their own dream. For him, want to work in marketing, and so there's Julia. Or you're going away. You're not listening.
We are listening, but we haven't heard your strategies to actually get the goals.
Yeah. So Arthur want to work in accounting, and we all come up with a strategy to achieve our dream. Is that first we need to find out who we really are by taking the MBTI test, the personality test, what we really good at, and what our specialty, and then we can the next step is to go to school and go to college to get a degree, and then in college we can practice our skills to get an internship, or you can write a paper to submit for a company that you want to work for. For example, Julia want to work for a cosmetic company, and she will write a paper about that company and reach out to them to talk about that paper. So that's how she gets an internship. And after you get to the company, you can we all agree that you have to work for several years to get the experience. And then we want to start up our own business. So that's the idea.
It's a competition. Boy, when I was in competitions, I would be trying to push my competition results first. But I hear many of you guys just sitting back, waiting, relaxing, hoping to win, perhaps, without saying anything. Do you need me to pull or invite you to share?
Can can some of my group member share about their dream, like Arthur and yes, Arthur, can you go? Can you talk something?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you hear me well.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so like you just heard from Prof, I just want to work in accounting and financial, and mainly I think that first thing is to get a good internship in this field. So from my own experience, I already had an internship in accounting, and I think the best way to continue is like to get more people involved in the field, and I think like I can have like another internship in a big company of accounting and maybe work from them just after graduating, and like that will give me most of my experience, and then I keep continuing like for several years to get experience. Just after that, I don't want to get my whole life to be in accounting. Actually, my father owns a company in construction, and that's a field that I like also. So I think like in the 10 or 15 following years, I would like to work in construction and maybe to keep following my father's company. And I think to achieve that, I just have to get experience in this field also. So I think life for being successful is also about experiences.
Okay, and everybody else just quietly listens. We can all talk at once. We can try to promote your own ideas. Thank you. Congratulations on talking about something that you're going to be able to do today. And you have the safety net. Your father already has a company. Maybe you could take that over also if you're interested. Anybody else?
For him, can you go next? He want to work in marketing.
You guys, stop following. Success will come if you try to get it. Choke its neck. Kick the shit out of it. Go ahead, talk. Share your ideas.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I would like to do marketing because I believe that marketing strategy is one of the most important part of a growing business. So I I would like to do like recycling process, like the anything recycling. So nowadays government takes steps on these things. So and government also gives subsidies on those things. So I would like to do this kind of things, and I believe that it would be profitable in future. So that's all.
Okay, it's time for me to talk finally. We were still having just a little bit group discussion on who will speak. Can y'all hear me well?
Yes. I will tell you if somebody is trying to speak and I see the mouth going, what nothing happens. Go ahead. Just go ahead and talk.
Okay, so while having a group conversation, after you left the chat room, we decided on talking about my goals, let's say. So what we are, I guess girls will also help me. What we started working or what we talked about is starting Femperial in Uzbekistan, which is mostly about feministic things. Like I want to be a spokesperson for Uzbekistan, and that's mostly about feminism, because we see our culture and society is very strict towards to the girls, and there are a lot of girls and women being abused by their husbands or their dads or on the streets, and they are being shot and they can't speak for their own, and most girls can't have their opinion because that's what society tells. So and they don't get to educate for mostly after graduating from school or college. Most girls are forced to get married at a young early age, for example 18 220. That's like, average age for girls to get married, but not most. Like not all, I mean, but most. So what I want to work on is educate girls to speak for themselves and know their rights. And in order to do so, we will start from the very, very early baby steps, which is starting a group, let's say, and I will build it to like this using the chain reaction. For example, the head will be me, and I will teach it to my friends, which I already did, and their parents hate me for doing this. So, and then we keep the chain reaction going. Like I teach girls and then they teach friends of their friends, and the chain reaction gets bigger and bigger, and it will get to society, but it won't happen at a time. So it will take some time, maybe a lot of time. So at the same time, we will work on contacting the influencers in Uzbekistan, like lady bloggers, YouTubers, and I will try to get audience that think like me. So I have only 2,000 followers on Instagram, but I will still do that, and I am already doing it, and I got a lot of hate comments for doing this, mostly from males, because they don't want ladies to speak for themselves and have rights. And I just got a negative comment on what I posted on my IG story from a messenger right now. uh, that's crazy. It makes me sad, but I won't stop until I reach till the end, or they have to kill me, or they have to shut me down.
Okay, so
So,
Danilo, I'm really interested in this project. Can I
okay.
go and work with you? I want to be a member of your group too.
So you've got one recruit
Of
with you. Great.
course.
Good. We are going to be running out of time with the class. We've got until, I believe, 11:45. So anybody else want to share your group information before we start talking about the details?
I think
5,
my group still
4.
has to say something. My group 3, we chose one topic, but I think it's best if she explains it by herself. Otherwise, I'm going to.
Thank you. I explained my business plan and my step-by-step propositions. I'm also going to open the business plan in Uzbekistan. It's a special tax service for women and for child. To achieve my desired goal, first I'm going to graduate at the university, but until the graduation, I'm working on my business plan for thesis writing. So I choose a business plan, not a thesis writing. Now I'm writing my business plan, and after completing, I'm going to find the investors in Uzbekistan. But I'm not going to continue my master's degree because my master's degree cannot help me to achieve my goals. I just don't want to spend my time. I'm going to own my own company. So, after this graduation, I'm going to improve my experience. Maybe I can work any company which can help me to invest in my business. For instance, I'm focusing on the huge construction business on the Mirat buildings. It's building the city and the capital, and and maybe future it will also build in other regions. So I need to contract with this company to get the money for my business. And so this is my step-by-step actions. And for this, I'm also going to try to find a good friends, so which can help me to achieve my goals.
Okay, so
explanation.
Thank you very much for that. I'm going to share a little bit more of my screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. For our class, I made the class focus normally on investment for money. A lot of people in the past usually talk about money, and many classes before they say, I want $1 million, I want $3 million, $10 million, something like that. So we talked about the idea of how to get money, but I haven't heard anybody in our group or in any of the breakout rooms talking about money at all, which is interesting. So we can skip over that aspect of it. The commonalities is that although you have many types of dreams, we are all sharing almost the same thing so far. A lot of people should benefit from understanding success. Research shows success comes from having a passion for something, but you also have to have the talent. You have to have the market needs for that, and then use your environment, leverage your environment. Like the last person talking about needing investment for construction, we just had a student in class saying they have a family with a construction company. Maybe they can do some sort of expansions. The other idea is Bill Gates, the Beatles, Mozart, many of these most successful people in history got to their level of success by continuously practicing and doing something, writing details down, developing things up to 10,000 hours. And so this explains those ideas. Make sure you get a coach. I haven't really heard about any of you talking about getting a coach. I heard one person say get an internship. And in my opinion, an internship is getting a coach, but it could be different. So surround yourself with like-minded people. I haven't heard of too many people talking about surrounding yourself, joining clubs, joining activities in order to develop those things, even though the last two people talking about your business plans and your goals were similar in similar part of the world. So surround yourself with like-minded people. I also will have a guest speaker, Derek Kim. I invite any of you, if you are interested. He is an expert and I don't know, maybe $100 million heir. He invests in new businesses, and he is an expert in helping people start new businesses. He can talk to our group anytime. So contact me. I'll introduce you to him. You can bring him into the class whenever you guys are ready. Derek Kim. Next, build expert habits. I've heard several of you talking about you want to get your university degree. You want to graduate. I heard only one student say that they're going to do something today that's going to help them. When you talk about getting a degree, it just seems like you're waiting for time to pass, and after you just have enough time gone, then you're going to get some sort of award from a university, a graduation diploma. One student I heard said they're going to get an internship in order to do something, and that could start today. It should start today. You should contact, or at least have plans to contact a company today so that you can use your time to expand. And so a lot of people are thinking about the short-term goals, what you may be able to get within 1 or 2 years. Don't forget, there's a famous book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. He talks about long-term business plans should be no more than 6 months. Because with the internet and technology nowadays, you can start anything today, this second, and you could get results today. You can make a Facebook group for a company today. You could get customers seeing that today. You can make YouTube or TikTok videos related to that today, and you could get billions of people viewing that today. So if you're planning for your long-term success beyond 6 months, he says you're not realistic. You're not working in 2021. So go through that book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and then look for very, very big goals. If I show you the notes that I wrote, I was taking recordings of people that are sharing details. And what I have here is, rather than just share general stories, especially general information goals shared by millions of other people, try to be very proactive. Dream big. A lot of you are making goals, but I believe you can do much bigger, much more things. So add to it. Write detailed plans. The research shows the more you have researched something, the more you have something written down, the higher your chances of success. if anybody wants, I can take time to show you presentations I give for Seoul City Hall, presentations I give for the Ministry of Justice, talking about how written business plans lead to general longer than 5-year survival and more than 80 to 90% survival rates. So make sure you start doing that. Write and take your daily plans, weekly plans, monthly plans, and steps to achieve your dreams and get closer to your goals, and your big dream goals. And then some people were sharing information, negative things. They were saying somebody was attacking me or complaining. Well, there's going to be millions of people that may disagree with you, and there could be many that contact you on Facebook and social media and say bad things. People may say it to your face. It's a reality of life to have trolls around. Do not let that slow you down. Your success, like in class, if you just wait for somebody else to talk, if you wait for me to talk, I feel I'm already successful. If you want to be successful, you must be very proactive. Start going and getting it now. You can make plans for it. You can not just do your class activity, but work with some companies. Anybody have any questions about that? We have our classes almost finished. I'm going to go through, after I stop the recording, I'm going to show a couple more slides and PPT and PDFs that relate to this. Maybe you guys can refer to this and we can talk about it more next time. The idea of what is a business plan. It seemed like most students wanted to develop your own business. So before we stop the class, can we get a vote? Which groups or which people do you think have the highest chance of success? Who do you want to invest in going forward?
On chat, a lot of people voted for group 1.
For okay, I will check the chats.
Group 2, group 2.
Group 2?
Oh, group 3. I don't know which group was mine, but mine.
It's group 3. It's not group 2. Okay, Sean, I have a reminder for students about the extra class this week.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, very soon we will run an extra class to explain a class assessment, reference how to write a paper, and research and grant. So I will send you an email to sign up for that class. The class will be held this week in the afternoon after 5 p.m. Is that okay? Just remember to check your email regularly. Is that good?
What
Okay.
we're talking about is throughout the semester, we have 4 months together and there are going to be national holidays. And so when we cancel a class, we can make some makeup classes. We can just skip it if we want, but I want to be very proactive and I'm going to make an extra makeup class this week. And rather than just wait, let's say it's going to be Thursday at 5 o'clock. I'm just going to make that. I'm going to send you a Zoom. You guys can join and interact with me if you want. We will record it. And so anybody that is busy at that time, you can just watch the video and contact me for follow-up afterwards. We're going to be talking about how to use the class effectively, how to make your plans, how to interact with companies, how to interact with executives outside, how you can get internships with class, how you can get grants with class, how you can get research, reliable research. I didn't hear anybody actually talk about evidence supporting the steps they're going to be making. So we will talk a little bit more about that in this makeup class. And in addition, the next time we meet this week. So thank you. Hua, who was which group had the most votes for winning with the business success or life success? I can't hear you.
I think group 1. Why nobody vote for us? We are group 3. I think group 3 is the group that get more chance of success. So
okay, so according to Hua, the chats say that group 1 has the most details. I will be going through, and I believe it's next week for our class, we actually will be talking about business plans, and I will be bringing in this expert, Derek Kim. If anybody else is serious about developing your business plan, international business plan, he travels the world all the time, even with the coronavirus going on. I highly suggest you talk to Derek Kim to invite him and schedule him to meet with the class. If you are our face of our class, you will have a relationship with him. And I guarantee he has. I helped a group of students do this exact project in Ho Chi Minh about 4 years ago. He flew from Seoul. He lives in Seoul, Korea. He flew from Seoul to Ho Chi Minh City, and he gave 15 of the students $30,000 each to develop their business plans. And it wasn't his own money. He gave $30,000 American dollars. It was Korean government funding that he just had so many contacts to help with. So if you are interested in developing your own business plan, use me to develop a relationship with this guy, Derek Kim. With that said, I'm going to stop the recording. The